then have the same, we end up having the same skill sets. When you see cybersecurity people, cloud security people, DevOps people, most of the time we have the same skill sets, programming and this. The thing that makes you stand out is how your soft skills, communication, how you how you operate timely. You get those are the things that actually make you stand out because arts we all most of the time we all have it. So please stay updated. The next one is Adisa, thank you. Do I present it? Yes. Build a strong professional network. This is one thing that has helped me as well. In the past few months or years, my professional network has increased massively. This is very important because at the end of the day, yes, this is a competitive environment, but who says we cannot promote collaboration? There's nothing like working together in a community. The job I got right now, the way I currently work, I work with one of the big fours in the UK, and I was referred, right? I was referred. I literally haven't even finished my PhD when I started this job. And it's because of the kind of professional network I have. I didn't seclude myself. We are not competitive with each other. You get. We send each other job roles, we send each other um, links on you get events, speaking events. When I get speaking events, I send it to my colleagues. We have we've gone past colleagues, acquaintances, to friends, sisters, brothers in this community. I have times when I'm stuck at work, I don't know what to do, and I'll speak to a colleague. Oh, do you know how this framework works? I'm not familiar with this framework. How does it work? And they help me, right? They explain to me how the framework works. So, or when I have to write my exam, certification exam, and I'm stuck, I call my colleagues that have taken this exam before. Nobody knows it all. Whether you're an expert in this, you don't know it all. Trust me, anybody that tells you that they are an expert in tech and they know everything, the person doesn't know anything because they don't know it all. It keeps evolving, it keeps changing every day. So when I feel like I'm stuck, I don't know what I'm doing, I call my colleagues and they are always there to help me because of the sort of person I've been myself as well in the industry. I'm there to help. I'm available to do stuff for people. Make yourself build a professional network. You don't have to compete with your colleagues. A lot of the time, the kind of culture we have is almost like we have to compete to grow. We have to step on those to grow. It doesn't work that way in the tech industry. Work with your colleagues, right? Join online communities, give back, volunteer. It takes a lot from you. It will make you tired, but trust me, it will pay off. You will reap it. It will pay off a lot. Because when you meet up with people, you learn. You also build, you will learn to listen, but you will learn to respond. You learn to listen to understand. It gives you valuable insights, right? From there, you also get referrals. People will start to refer you. Oh, this person is always, I know somebody. Your name will pop up somewhere. And then you see that your portfolio begins to grow. Aside your career growing, you will also grow as a person. You will grow from understanding that everything is not about money or getting back. You start to understand that measuring success itself is more about giving back. Your understanding of growth will change when you speak with people. Because when you think you are up there in your career, when you speak to certain people, you realize that you are nowhere. And it doesn't mean you are undermining your effort to achieve more. So please build a strong professional network. I mean network. Don't go and join communities to become I'm sorry to use this word, a nuisance. Try as much as possible people. Try as much as possible to be there for people. Try as much as possible not to compete. Be happy for your colleague's success. You see your colleague getting jobs in this. That's not the time you have to consider and start asking about your weaknesses. Be ready to celebrate the person, right? This is very important in this industry because I'm not going to lie to you. I know I've not done this research and I don't like to speak without statistics, but I can affirm for sure that most successes in this industry come from referrals. Trust me, it comes from referrals. So not to waste your time, also polish your online presence as well. Polish it. Make sure that your online presence is good. Try as much as possible that you get involved with stuff. Have a portfolio. It's easy to design on Canva. Resume. Make your resume very nice. right? Make sure that your resume is very presentable and easy to read. I can always share a template with Unquite that so that you can have an idea of how IT resume should make sure that it's very nice and try to put where you volunteer your achievements. Don't hide or don't say you want to be too humble in your CV. Everything you've done, put it. Things that sound stupid, put it. Companies like to see things that you think might not be reasonable, put it. We've taught in primary school, we volunteered in green charity, we've done this, put everything. You don't know where to come handy. And lastly, the last point are yes, develop your skills. Take courses. Yes, these ones they are very important. Like I said, take certifications like these boot camps. You are take it seriously. Don't think because oh you are doing a boot camp, you might not. Make sure you take it seriously. Attend every session. Prepare well for your interviews. Don't just cruise your interviews. Prepare very well for your interviews. Do mock interviews. You get learn how to answer questions using the what's that thing again? I've forgotten what it's called. Scenario. I've forgotten what the star skill. Yes, star. There's something called star where you use it to what's it called? So the situation, the task, the action, and the results, and then metrics for measurements. Learn all these things, all these concepts. They come handy. They are very useful. Also, lastly, embrace continuous learning. Don't think that you've gotten there and you are there. There's nothing like that. Even medical doctors are still reading despite the fact that they've gone to school for how many years, they continue to read. Everybody learning is continuous to believe this hurts. Continue to learn. Don't always think that because you've done this, it doesn't mean that you don't have to learn. You've gotten AZ 500 security engineer, that's the end. IS certification, you've gotten Kubernetes, this, that's the end. No, continue to learn so you don't feel left behind. In conclusion, right, neither is it hard. It depends on how you approach it. Always stay proactive, be strategic, build for jobs different. Continue to develop that understanding of the remaining 18 and make they want the other 20 entities. It is too you are very with such that someone wastes the night so much passion. Like that's the last interview you ever do. Always for it. You don't know when you need your um, X. And lastly, always be out there rejection emails. When you get rejection emails, don't let that weigh because that we optimistic all the time. We optimistic about things. You would definitely this in and make use of it during this program. Show the best. Give it good luck, knowledge, and this.
All right. Thank you, Omo. I was like, I don't even know. Like, part of what you said, you made mention of building a strong network. okay, oh, I decided I can do this task, so let's give it to expert. So, and I would even like to give a scenario of the past student of this tech diversity, the cohort one student doing tax, and yes, pretty much the tax used like it was data analysis.
Sorry.
You that these students will go in as a group to do this assignment. And I was like, this assignment is actually meant for you guys to do as like individual assignment. But they went in a group to do the assignment. Then after they deliberate on how they can do the assignment, then each and every one of them then go on and perform the task on their own. And I was really surprised. And that's I mentioned.
Oh, sorry, it's like we lost the host. Wow. It's like we lost the host of the event. If you have any questions so that it doesn't seem awkward, you can always ask, please. So,
All right, guys. Question. I think Toyib is having issue with his connection.
yeah, Surat has a question.
Yeah, so let's take questions. We'll just take like two or one.
Yeah, that's okay. That's okay.
So just raise your hands and let me see you. I'll call your name. All right, I have
Surat.
Surat. Yes, please go ahead with your question. Then we have Uluwatosin. Those are the two people. So
Yeah.
after
Okay.
Surat, Uluwatosin, go ahead. Thank you.
Okay, thank you for this great opportunity.
Yeah.
Now, I've been on this track of UI UX design for like, let's say a year. I've been going through different trainings, although not paid, the free trainings like this. And I
Okay.
can say I've really done, not a lot, but just let's say a little. I'm not
Okay.
able to put it squarely because I'm still a student of OOU.
Okay.
And the problem is, I've been on this track for a while. I think I should have figured out something about myself, but I'm still not figuring anything out. Like, I'm still taking trainings. Like, I don't know how
Okay.
to start. I don't, I don't know my bearing.
Okay.
So
Do you
I
want
don't
me
know if
to?
there's any way I can be helped out.
Yeah. So, um, I'll just take this question because our host is back. So hold on, Elizabeth. So, Surat, the first thing I would like you to ask when I tell people that come to meet me for things like this, I try to tell them to take a personality test. It's not easy transitioning to IT, and I've come to realize that people pick what's it called disciplines for two things when they are transitioning. It's either because of the income they'll get, and that's why you see people running to cyber, cloud, or data, or because of the ease of getting into IT, and that's why you see people now pick products by UX or web dev. I don't know if I'm right, but I always like to speak as a researcher. Personally, when people come to meet me that they want to do cybersecurity or whatever, the first thing I'll tell them to go and do is to go and take a personality test, right? A lot of the time, we picked our careers because our parents picked it for us, or because that or bandwagon is jumping on what everybody's doing, or because this unit picked it for us. Nigerian units, they are very funny. What I will tell you to do is take control of this thing that you're doing. Because UI UX, I'm not saying that's not what you should be doing, but that's not where you might excel. Cybersecurity, for example, you have so many different parts, and they are so different. Sometimes they get so different, and you don't know where to start. So for people that like to do research, for example, I'll tell them go to this. If you like to read, why are you doing pen? Go and do GRC. Why are you doing data? If you like to read, go and do GRC. If you like maths, you like numbers, why are you in cyber? Please go to data. I don't know if you get what I'm saying. I'm not saying that because you like numbers does not mean you cannot do GRs. It's just that when you are transitioning, it's not the easiest. And you're also a student or you might be working. So what I'll tell you is that try as much as possible to sit down and look at different industries and disciplines in IT. If UI UX is actually what you think you want to do, then you now have to find re-strategize. Maybe you have to start to do more projects rather than doing trainings and reading. Start to design. Get into it and design. Don't wait till you think you've done all the trainings before you start to do hands-on. Start to design. Don't wait for anybody. And if you think that's not what it is for you, look at the different kind of disciplines in IT. It's a lot. But there's something you will see that you think will suit you and you will pick, and that will come easy for you. I don't know if I've answered the question because I also faced it, and that was how I was able to settle down and pick what I wanted. Cloud is so broad, I didn't know where to go. I'm in cloud, I'm in cybersecurity. Where do I go? I had to carve a niche for myself and focus on cloud security. And that is how I ended up here.
All right, just to add a
Okay, thank
bit,
you very
yeah. So just to add a bit here, so when it comes to, and I think everybody goes through what you're going through. So just so you know, it's normal, right? When you find yourself learning something and you feel like you are not going further. So, my recommendation, right, will be that sometimes when you've done the personality test, meanwhile, I would suggest Motola to give us maybe sources of where people can go, maybe provide link for us to go check it later.
That's okay.
So once you're able to get it with personality test, and I think a way forward again will be that finding somewhere to collaborate with people. So at this stage now, you should be looking for people to work for free, without you having to collect anything. You just want to work for free, because I remember in my early days I had to be begging people to work for them for free. Just give me work. I want to have a sense that I'm doing something that is later being used. So now might be that time where you just cling yourself with an organization or an individual building something, and get to contribute. So through that, you'll be able to build more muscles to be able to get more work. Thank you. Over to you, Toy. I think we have one person more for a question.
Yeah.
Toy, can we take that?
Okay, Elizabeth. Does Toy want to, because I have to join another meeting.
Okay, yeah. Toy, do you still have
Okay.
time? We have one
All
more
right, no
person for
problem. Thank you very
question.
much, Motola, for joining us.
Yeah. Elizabeth, does Toy want to take
Oh yeah,
Elizabeth's
let's take
minutes?
Elizabeth. We had promised her already.
Elizabeth, let me just take Elizabeth to be unfair. Elizabeth.
Hmm. Elizabeth, we can't hear you.
Okay,
I
I
don't know if
can't.
your mic is on mute. Ah, we can hear her.
Okay.
All right, I think
Please,
we
she
should.
can always
Yes,
reach out to me.
we
I
should.
definitely
Okay, Elizabeth said
oh,
something.
she sent
Oh, she
a
sent a
message.
message. Okay, you could just check the message panel.
At least you can. Trust me, you can. Like I said, you just have to find what best works for you. For example, I was doing certifications. I'm doing my PhD. I'm working at the same time with a family that breakdown. That is your time. Like let your time be like gold. Doesn't mean I don't mean I do have fun a lot. Time be your time. So when you allocate 10 minutes for this, when you start to do that, you come and realize how you now realize how valuable time is. You will love time, and then you realize that you achieve more. Note down your goals, have a to-do list, what you want to achieve for the week, break it down to what you want to achieve for the day, and then you learn how to compartmentalize your time. Okay? If you have any other question, reach out to me on LinkedIn or Twitter. I'll definitely respond. It's really nice speaking to everybody, and I wish you best of luck.
All right, thank you very much, Motola. Yeah, it's a very great pleasure having you with us
Yeah.
today. And yeah, it's just of us. We have our pen
Thank you.
and paper, jotting one or two during our presentation because I had lots of things and I gained a lot of insight from that presentation. So thank you very much once again for joining us, and then we'll
Thank
see
you.
you doing great again in the tech industry next time.
Thank you.
All
Bye.
right, bye. All right. So permit me to welcome the second speaker of all, a person of Ali Amin Muhammad. So
Good
you
afternoon.
see,
I'm sorry for
Ali Amin
interrupting.
Muhammad is okay.
I've raised I asked a question when your network was bad. And my question
Okay.
was answered, but I just need to just give a point to what Mr. Noah advised me to do. So
Okay.
it is not a question. I'm trying to get my bearing, but he has given me a solution, a way out. And then I only want to say I took a training the last time, was it last year or early this year? And I did a collaboration job and it went on well. But the problem is I don't know how to start myself. Like collaborations are not coming up. I don't know if I can see anyone or anything. Like I don't know, but I would love to collaborate with anybody who is like I'm not saying I'm a professional, but I'm learning. I'm still learning, and I think collaboration will help me because the last one I did helped me a very long way. I don't know how to get another more collaborations.
All right. So quick one. Just reach. Please reach out to Toy. Let's take it up from where you are. So Toy will just reach out to you, and I think we just like to see things that you've done, and probably see if we can get a great fit for you or have anything we can connect you with. All right. Does that make sense?
Yes, thank you very much, sir.
All right. Thank you.
All right. So just reach out to me after the call, and they'll pick up from that. So permit me to welcome the second speaker on board, the person of Ali Amin Muhammad. He's a software engineer who has years of experience. I can't even explain. I can't even say that this is the exact year of experience he has because I've known him since 2020, and when I knew him back then in 2020, he has been doing great in the software engineering industry, and yes, and he has so many experience. They have experience in fintech, they have experience in so many areas, and yes, he's a microservice developer. He's a cloud engineer. He's front end engineer, back end. Like let me just say full stack. So permit me to welcome Ali Amin Mohammed. So Ali Amin Mohammed, if you are on the call, just signify.
Yeah, thank you so much, Adisa. Although I would like to dispute some of what you said, but yeah, I'll just let it be that way. So good afternoon, everyone. My name is Mohammed Al Amin. So I think I'm going to turn on my camera now if everybody can see. Okay. Yeah. So my name is Mohammed Al Amin, like I introduced before. So I'll be talking about how you can navigate the job markets, like in the tech industry, especially in Nigeria. Yeah, so I'll share my screen now to bring up the slide.
So I guess the name is having technical issue. Things that actually bring us down is our network. It has actually affect me also today. Yeah, I think it's bad. Mohammed,
So when it comes to internet and power supply, that's what we go through all the time.
exactly.
I actually didn't know I was muted. Can everyone hear me now?
Yes, we can.
Sure.
Hello.
Yes, sir, we can.
All right, all right. So My name is, I think this, according to Adesara, it's like I've been quite a lot of things, but what I can genuinely tell you is I am a software engineer and I like to just solve problems. That's all I can really say about myself. Because if it comes to cloud, backend, front end, whatever it is, there is problems everywhere. There are problems everywhere. Right? So wherever I can put myself to use in solving problems, that's where you see me. So yeah, if it's cloud, if it's backend, so be it. So I put in my best, and over the years, I've worked in quite a few industries, or mostly I find myself working around fintech, and it's been so far. And I've known Adisa for like was a very funny story for another day anyway. So yeah, so today I'll be taking this topic of how to navigate the job markets, like my own insights personally, I would say. So navigating the job markets in Nigeria, and I think everywhere, it's not a case where I would say one strategy fits all, but I'm going to be talking commonly about what I think they all have, like what I think they have in common, right? What people are always looking for. So if I'm looking to hire someone, for example, I have a project, I'm looking to hire someone. What are the key things I'm always looking for? Right? I'm looking for someone that has value, that can give value to my projects, you get, that can solve my problems. So if I'm like looking as an employer in this sense, right? If I'm to employ someone, I would screen the person to narrow into, okay, how much value can this person bring? Like that's what everybody wants. Like we all want value, both the employer and the employee. So if what I'm always seeking out to receive or give is value, right? So everything I'm going to be saying now, right, it's all like based on perspective. It's there's no handbook for something like this. You get, like the previous speaker said, Omotala, right? There is no a single case fits all strategy here. We can only speak in terms of experience. So I'll try to keep this as short to be saying is based on my own personal experience, and I would I'm open to other people's contribution. If you don't agree with some of the facts, feel free to point them out and we'll talk them through. All right. Yeah. So the next thing I have here, yeah, like I said before, right? When you're looking to get jobs in tech, right, you have to look for somewhere you can give value. If I look at myself now, I don't see myself working in I see myself giving my top value in fintech organizations mostly. Yeah. So although I would do well in other organizations or other fields or like other categories in the industry, right? But where I can give my top notch value and like show employers and people this is what I do, right? It's still the fintech space. So that's one of the things you have to look out for also. Like it's not all jobs you actually after for, and you need to be on the lookout for jobs. You okay? This job I'm seeing now is a job that can let me give the kind of value I have, can let me um like flex my skills and show how valuable. So that thing here is opportunity, right? How do you get these opportunities? Even show people that you have this kind of ability. So many ways where I choose or where I can get my in, like I also said, right? So your network is like is even to me your network is like 99% of your net worth. Like your network is truly what defines your net worth. So the more value and the more quality network you have, the more wealthy you are. Do you understand? So if we were to look at that in the literal sense, right, you could say I have 5 friends. Someone else has 10 friends. I have 5 friends that can get me a job in almost anywhere. But if I have 10 friends that can't even get me, maybe let me say that can't even show me, um, okay, this company is hiring. Like, would you like to apply or something like that? If you don't have reasonable connections or like valuable connections like that, it's not something that would be really easy for you. And also, if you're just coming up, also, I believe if you're just coming up, like you cannot just start one day and just have these connections. Like you cannot just start up one day and just have like numerous connections and all. So like I think it was I forgot something. I think Surara too. I think that she was mentioning collaboration, right? I think that's one thing that is really really important too, right? I will tell you, up to date, most of the jobs I've gotten, they were based on referrals. They were based on referrals. It was only my first job with a startup that wasn't really based on referral per se. But the remaining jobs I got were based on, okay, I knew this person at a particular time, and I asked if so company was hiring, or they reached out to me and we talked it through and I got the job. So it was mostly like that. So you need to be very keen on building your network. And one very good way to do it is through collaborations also. Okay. So if we're speaking in terms of value, like what makes you valuable, right? To an employer definitely wants someone that can fix their problems, someone that understands their problem and is able to pitch in ideas. Like we want an e-commerce platform that lets our users buy goods generally, right? Then you could come in with innovations like, okay, to make it easier, we can go through this specific route, move so components here and there and all, like just pitching suggestions to them, right? They understand that, okay, this person is just not someone we say, okay, do this, he does it. Like he wants to share his own opinion. He has opinions he wants to share. Has better ways to improve what we currently have. So that's the part on innovation. And the part in communication is your client explains things to you. So just for you to show that you understand what this client is talking about exactly, right? It's something you want to maybe re-explain back to the client and say, okay, from what you've said, I understand this is what you need. And that's like even one of the most basic levels of client communication I'm talking about. Like generally, communication starts from how you address people, how you talk to them, and even in high pressured equations situations, like maybe there are problems, there are things you need to solve, and things just get heated. Like the way you resolve issues like that, like it's quite important also, because I'll tell you, if you really want to work in any industry, basically, you will always have to deal with troublesome clients and troublesome employers, because they are always coming up with weird requirements. They are always just doing things that are just absurd, really. So you need to understand how to put up with people. You need to understand how to relate with them in a way that would show that, okay, you value them, you respect them, and also you want to communicate your goals and get this projects done, right? So that's something you want to also ensure that is going. Like communication is very key. And also, if you are to demonstrate your value, you would want to talk about your accomplishments, like the previous place you've worked. If you've not worked somewhere before, this is where like this ground-based collaboration you will be having, and I hope you'll be having, comes in. Like the kind of collaborations you've done previously. Before I had any experience in the industry, right? So I basically did uh projects that I just wanted to do. I just rode with any kind of project that came to me. I could wake up one morning and say, okay, I don't know what we are doing today, but today we are just maybe building an e-commerce platform, or today we are building a desktop application. Like those are like 2018, 2020 for me. And also, while doing that, right, I got to meet some really cool people that were also doing similar things. So those collaborations we had served as an accomplishment for me, as like reference to show, if I was looking for a job, they asked me for a reference or what I've done. I say, okay, I've done this, I've done that. I collaborated with so person and all. And what people always like to see, right? When you push out your reference projects or accomplishments, you want to put in something that is finished, right? Nobody likes someone that does not finish things. Nobody does. So I have about almost 200 repositories, almost 200 projects on my GitHub, but most of them are unfinished projects. So I can boldly, I can say I have maybe up to 15 complete projects, like finished projects, right? So, and even out of those 15, I only selected three projects that I added to my resume, like my profile, if I'm applying to jobs. Only three of out of those 15. Yeah, so that's one thing also. You need to know the kind of accomplishments you add to your resume. You don't want to add it to your resume that you wrote 5,000 lines of code. Like, nobody cares. It's just very irrelevant. You get what happened with those 5,000 lines of code? Like, what were you able to achieve? Do you get? So that's also something you want to also do. While showing your accomplishments, you want to pass a proper message across of the impact of your accomplishments. Do you understand? So that's like the way I see that you can show how valuable you are, communication accomplishments, and how much you're able to innovate. So that's my own piece on showing value. Then the also yeah, this is just explaining the communication accomplishment and all. So yeah, the next one is opportunity, right? Uh, there is this I don't want to call it illusion people have, but I do have it sometimes. Okay, let me call it fantasy, right? I apply for a job. Okay, let me use an example I saw recently. Right? I saw a very big company. The name of the company is Moon Space. Like, they have collaborations, partnership actually with SpaceX, NASA, and a lot of space agency. Right, this is like a space kind of exploration program. They help people launch satellites into space. And this is one thing, right? You need to know where to look for your opportunities, just so you don't disappoint yourself. I have a very like in myself. I am very confident in my skills and my experience and the things I can get done. But company like calibers of SpaceX, right? You don't just jump at applying to them just like that. You build your processes. You understand? So if I was to apply to this company, I'm talking about now, like, I need to at least know what they really do. That's I need to be in touch with some of their staffs. Like, okay, what do you think I should do to have an opportunity in your company or something like that? Or like you just need to know precisely what is going on, what you are doing. So the thing is, if your coach doesn't know you are the best player on the team, there is no way they would even put you on the field. So if I'm applying to this company, the only thing they know about me is that I applied and I submitted my resume. Any other thing is just not there. So that's where, if you have someone you know in the company, or if you reach out to someone that works in the company, that person is even there to speak for you, in the sense that when other people are like, say they are even just hoping that the company sees their resume and calls them for interview, you are even past that stage already. You are in the stage of, okay, um you are talking with maybe their HR already, like, okay, do they think you are fit for this role? Or is there a technical test you can take or anything? Like, when you have the right network, you have the opportunity to show your value like very easily. So that's also one thing. You should know where you are looking for your opportunity. I'll be straight with you. If I apply to that space agency I was talking about, the chances of me getting an interview with them just by applying without knowing anybody is very, like, is even lower than 10%. Like, those are my chances, right? So if you don't already have a network of people that you talk to in these companies, or where you are looking to get opportunity, it's quite hard for you. It's quite hard. So yeah, so if your coach knows you are the best player, you need to find the opportunity to show your coach that you are the best player, and then your coach will say, okay, let's try this guy, and all, and from there you start fighting for Ballon d'Or. But yeah, that's just my opinion of opportunity, right? So you need to know where to look and the kind of people to reach out to. You get okay. The next thing I have here, yeah, it's also the same thing from the opportunity section, right? Like you should know where to look for opportunities, and you should know a lot, like sufficient info. You should have sufficient information about the company you are applying to. I also applied to. I didn't really apply. I talked to recently, right? Another case where I was trying to apply for a job because I have this idea of being a digital nomad where I like to switch roles, maybe averagely every 6 months. That's I work in a social company for maybe 6 months. I deliver as much value as I can deliver and help them fix their problem. And then I pack my bags and try to leave for better opportunities or new challenges. So that's basically the kind of person I am. So recently I've been seeking for roles. So I also reached out to someone on LinkedIn. I never met this guy before. We started talking just this week, right? So I told him, I've read about their company. I've been reading about the company and looking for key people in the company for like a week. So I got to find their top staffs. I talked to them. Actually, one of them, I talked to one of them. He happens to be the CTO, that's the Chief Technical Officer. So I talked to him. And initially, I sent my GitHub projects to him. I sent just one actually. Then he said, okay, we check it. He checked it and he told me the project wasn't complex enough. And in my own opinion, the project was pretty complex, but I agreed. I said, okay, that's I understand if it doesn't look complex enough. And also, I'd be open to taking any tests they have, if they have a kind of test I can take to show I know what I'm doing, right? So they gave this test. Uh, they said I had to do it in 5 hours. I did it for like maybe 5 hours and 17 minutes or so. So I submitted the test, and now the guy is finding a time to schedule his interview with me somewhere next week or so. So instead of me sending my CV and not even getting a reply or even not knowing what is happening, I went directly to this person on LinkedIn. Like I talked to him. I waited patiently for almost 2 days before he could reply back. Sometimes it takes longer, right? So I studied the company and the company looked like a company I want to work with. And the company was yeah, I read a lot about the company actually. So it was just easy for me to showcase myself. Because once I'm telling you the kind of values I can deliver, I make it align with what your company needs. You get so that's the key part about doing your research about the company. Like you need to know enough about the role and the company itself. Okay, I plan to keep this like as short as it could be, and I think I've been able to do that actually. And also, one thing I have actually learned the very hard way, right, is patience and consistency. Like those two things come in handy like a lot. If you apply to jobs, if you reach out to people on LinkedIn, they don't reply you immediately. Do you understand? So you need to be patient, and you don't want to keep spamming their inbox, like sending multiple messages, because that tends to become like a red flag. It shows like your desperation and all. It doesn't make them value you for one, and even when they eventually have your time and they reach out to you, they don't give you a very good deal. Do you understand? So if you send a message to someone, wait for them to reply before sending another one. If they don't reply, then I guess you just have to leave it that way. Because it's not always a good thing if you just don't have that kind of patience to wait it out. Sometimes I message people for like I send a message to someone like maybe months ago. It could be a month, say 2 months, like before they read my message. You get so I have to be patient and hope that they get my message. Do you understand? So that's one thing too. And also consistency is really key. As you are brushing up on your technical skills, like you are reading up on like technical stuff, frameworks, and everything. You also want to work on your non-technical skills like communication, like human interactions, and even to some extent, I think you need to really be on this psychological side of things. Like you need to understand how people think. So it's not just the kind of codes you write or whatever. You understand? It's about a lot of other things also. So you just need to be consistent at improving and getting better. And patience, like I mentioned, is very, very key. So I hope I was able to pass like a very important message across. So all in all, just show value, look for the right opportunity, be patient, and just be consistent. That's just the whole keyword I will give to you guys. Thank you so much. I'm really glad I got this opportunity to say this piece. And also, I was going to mention, if anyone here is open to, of course, through Adisa, right? You can reach out through Adisa or directly to me on Twitter or anywhere. So I'm mostly open to collaborations, right? The truth is, I at least always have a project you can work on if you just reached out, right? So if you are open to, either you are a UI UX designer, you are a front end, back end, to some extent, even data science people like AI stuff and all, I'm mostly open to all that. Though, if I'm open to those kind of collaborations, although you have to know it's they are mostly personal projects, right? But I can tell you, most people I've worked with, like on my personal projects, there are people eventually I got to work with them on paying projects. I even got to refer some of them, and they also got to refer me. There you get. So it's just a wide range of opportunity for me and you, if we collaborate together. And rest assured, you'll be learning a lot of things, and I'll also be learning a lot of things. So yeah, I'm open to collaborations if you guys are ready. So you could talk to me directly or at this or anyone. So thank you so much, guys. Thank you.
All right, thank you very much. I mean, it's a very great session with you. Like you made mention, so I could remember back then, after COVID, when we resumed back to school, you made mention of wake up and do something. Yes, that has been part of you. Like you just wake up and start coding, start doing some crazy things, and those are the things that actually helps you out so far. And
Yeah.
yeah, like if I could track back to 2020 down to 2023 where we are now, I can see a lot of progress that you made. I can see a lot of collaboration. I can see that you are now relevant in tech industry. And if you actually want to be like Mohammed, also don't just wait till like okay before I see a gig. You can just think like one thing about all of this. One thing about tech is problem solving. So just think of a problem that okay, with what I have, with what I've learned, how can I use it to solve a local problem around me? How can I use it? It's not necessarily maybe the problem it can make money for you or it cannot make money. Just make sure that those are the things that will give you that you can actually add to your resume, like Omotola have said. Those are the things you can add to your to everything you have done. Like, okay, this is what I've done so far. This is what I'm working on. This is what I've worked on in the past. And those are the things that will make an employer that is like they are looking like they are looking to employ you. Okay, since you work on this, since you did this before, so these are the things that will count when you are seeking for. And don't forget, your network is your network. So network is very, very important. So I would like to take like two questions before we move to the next thing on our agenda. So who is having question for Adami? I think it is a question. Yeah, go on. Okay. I think okay, Elizabeth is asking a question. She said, I guess once personally is also a key factor for starting off on the tech career as for the two speakers spoken. So is there a way to get insight into different tech fields that fits different personality traits on their own? Okay. Yeah, Mohammed, do you get the
Yeah,
question?
yeah, I got the question. So I think you're right too about the personality, right? Because I I see myself as a numbers person, right? Like I'm mostly behind logical things. I'm not a fashion person. I'm not a artistic, artistically creative person or anything. I barely even know colors. I'll tell you. I only recognize red, green, and blue. Any other thing is just there. So for someone like me, I like to get on the logical side of things, like my personality. So I like to get on the logical side of things. I like to deal numbers. So typically, I was able to understand like really quick where I would fit would be back end, right? So you just also need to examine your personality. Am I someone that likes aesthetics? Like, do I really care how things are arranged on a page, or like you just need to understand yourself. So if you are looking to go into maybe data science or AI or whatever, if to me sometimes, right, if you like the role so much or the skill so much, you tend to actually grow into it. You get. But if you are just randomly looking for something to learn, right, you want to examine your personality properly, like and also the kind of skills you'll be working with. You need to understand, does this thing really suit my personality, the kind of person I am? She gets. For me, I don't have patience to do front end. I only do front end when I'm bored or when I don't have a choice. You get. So I don't see myself as someone trying to check which color is better on this place or whatever. And in terms of UI UX also, I'm not the best person. I'm not. So I just like to stay on the logical side of things, and trust me, you don't have to be everywhere. I've had that circle before also, where I basically spent 2018 to like 2020 going in like a circle. I learned a lot of things. I learned AI, I learned backend, front end, cloud. Like I even learned cyber security at some points. That's probably one of the reasons why I'm able to relate with um Adisa on some levels here, like because we talk a lot, so that's probably why I'm able to relate with him on some levels because I have had some of insight there. So you just need to examine yourself and pick the right skill that you would do well in. Although it's not still one case suits all, right? Sometimes if you like what you want to do so much, your personality will just like grow into that skill you like. You get. So you just need to carefully examine yourself and the skill you want to choose and know which one is best for you. There's really no handbook of which one fits you actually. There's no handbook for that. Even some people middle of their career, right? I've met someone where he has been like a software developer like for like 4 years. Then at some point he went as a business analyst, like a technical business analyst, and till now that's what he does. So there's no handbook that says this is guaranteed to work for you. But you just need to carefully choose what you want to do. Okay, you get. So because at some point you might even feel like, okay, I want to switch to something else. You understand? So you always have to like think about it carefully and just be consistent and whichever one you choose. So that's just my own opinion on that, yeah.
All right, thank you very much. So I received a question now from someone. So Joshua said, "I'm new in tech. I learned cybersecurity and I had internship. I just started JavaScript mainly, and my target is backend front end. Please, Mr. Mohammed, can I be a student, please? Because I need project to learn with."
Okay. The thing is, I'm always open to sharing what I know, right? Because I decided someone that I don't think is very hard for me to say no when he asks me to come on stage or like spare a couple of hours or so. It's quite very hard. Although I don't remember a case where I said no to him. So what I would tell you is I'm open to that opportunity, but for someone like me, right, I'm not sure uh, we would have a kind of relationship where you learn a lot from me, right? So it's not just going to be the typical teacher student relationship is what I'm telling you. Like I'm basically just there to answer your questions and show you things to read. That's just my own understanding of sharing in most cases. And once in a while, uh, I think let me just not cut take too much of everybody's time. So yeah, you can just reach out to me on Twitter. I don't think you get me through WhatsApp though. Just maybe Twitter or Telegram, something like that. So yeah, that's fine by the way. That's fine also. So if anyone else is open to collaborations, you can also reach out, like I said. So I happen to be a very big fan of open source also, and I usually have one or two projects going on that anyone could work on if they are interested. So yeah, there's always that chance for me. You understand? There's always that opportunity if you are truly interested. Yeah. So that's that's it.
All right. Thank you very much. Okay, so right, you can actually reach out to me on WhatsApp. I'll drop my WhatsApp contact in the chat box. So you can definitely reach out to me on WhatsApp and I will respond to you. And anyone else who wish to reach out to me on WhatsApp, you can definitely. But as for Mohammed, I can't guarantee you can reach out to me on WhatsApp. Just make use of the Twitter. Yes, Twitter is very a place where you can actually get in where it will respond to you on time. So I shared the Twitter link to reach out to him and also for our first speaker, which was Omotola. So our Twitter and also was there. So the last thing where we be talking about in this event is yes, we are starting a bootcamp and the bootcamp has already started today, which is the tech diversity. And yes, so how can you get started? I've received lots of questions. I've received lots of students saying that, oh, I don't know how to get started. I don't know how to get started. So I'll be showing a demo now on how you can get started on our platform, irrespective of track you enroll in. If you're enrolling in front-end beginner, intermediate, data analysis, or UI UX. So the first thing you have to do is because the program has started today and it's going to last 12 weeks. That is, you have 12 weeks access on our learning LMS. So how it goes is, so for each of the 12 weeks that we will be learning together, we normally have a weekly check-in for our students to see how far they've gone, like to check your progress, to know if you're having any difficulties. And as for data analysis, front-end intermediate this time around, front-end intermediate, and then UI UX, we are having a call every Saturday. Yeah, we'll be having a call every Saturday by 12 p.m. noon. So we're having a call every Saturday by 12 p.m. So where we can actually check on you guys, okay, how far you've gone, what have you done so far in the previous week? Because for every week we have a task that will be assigned to everybody to do, and you must you must finish your task. So if you're having any difficulty in finishing your task or anything, that's the purpose of me having the call with you. And also, there's project in between the courses that you're going through. There's project in between. So as for front end beginner, yours checking will be on Friday because everybody will be assigned a mentor. Front end beginner, you have your own mentor. They will introduce to you in the group today. Front-end beginner, you also have your own mentor. UI UX also have their own mentor. While data analysis also have their own mentor. So your mentors will be identified. We will tell you who your mentor are today. For the intermediate, front-end intermediate, data analysis and UI UX. So we're having every Saturday, we're having the call every Saturday. While for front-end beginner, your call will be on Friday. So although your mentor will actually say a lot about that, it will go when I introduce them to you. And how can you get started on our platform? Yeah, you've registered, you've enrolled, you've applied. So the first thing you're going to do is just go to, let me try to share my screen. So the first thing you're going to do is just go to skills.instant.org. Then it will be sent to you you just go to skills.instinct.hub. So when you go to skills.instinct.hub, this is the first thing. So you'll be prompt to log in. So if you are to log in, let me sign out now. So this is the screen you're going to see. So you see a sign in button here. So just sign in. Then after which you sign in, you ask you for your username and password. So when at the point of the integration, you choose a username and then you have a password for that. So you can refer back to the username you choose at the point of when you are applying for this program. So, but for the case that if you forgot the username or you forgot the password, what you're going to do is just click on forgot password to reset your password. So the moment you click on it, they'll ask you to provide the email that you registered with, and I believe every one of us should still remember the email we use at the point of your email address here. After you provide your email address, then reset password. Then after you reset password, you should receive a notification from your mail that okay, so person you request. So like there is a guide on the email you'll be receiving that will um, direct you on how to change your password, and if you even though you forgot your username, the username will be sent in the email, so you don't have problem about that. Just go there and you change your password, and after that you can log in. So after login, so after you log in, this is where you're going to see. So your courses, it will direct you to the courses. So definitely your courses will be blank. So the next thing you're going to do is just click on these tracks that you have here. Click on this track. So basically, I'm enrolled in data analysis beginner. So that's the reason why I'm saying the data analysis beginner. And if you click the icon here, so you see the courses that has been the modules that has been assigned to data analysis. You see the module that has been assigned to data analysis. So this is what although you'll be receiving a mail every Monday for the task for the month for each week. So for each week, every Monday, you'll be receiving an email of okay, for this week, these are what you are supposed to cover. So if you go down there, you see all the courses. So it's because I enrolled in data analysis that I'm seeing this. So if you enroll in front end beginner, this is you. If you click on your track, definitely you are not going to see data analysis. You are going to see front end beginner. Likewise for UI UX and front end intermediate. So the first thing. So after in which we've sent you the, the notification of these are the things that you are going to cover for this week. So you go to use from your mail, you can click on it, and then if you click, they just assume that the first thing that you're going to do definitely is for data analysis learning management system, how you can navigate through our learning management and have proper understanding of it. So you can see now that it's asking me to enroll now. So just click on this enroll. So after clicking on this enroll, so we prepared the videos and everything for you guys, so you don't have to stress yourself. Everything is on the LMS. So once you can see that you have for the course that I just enrolled in, which was learning management, you can see if you click on continue course. So these are the steps that you have to cover for this module, which is the um, learning management system. So for this module, you have to cover this about the page, sign up, login, reading a blog, view courses, how to enroll for courses, subscribing to a plan. Although you are not subscribing to a plan, you've already added it to the plan. Then view and edit profile, getting help, scoreboard, and then the private reset. So for this module, so that's what we have for every module. So you're going to watch the video on how to do that. Click on play. The video will get started. You can see this video very clear and so this easy. So if you scroll down, let me just so you have to complete each step. So if you complete each step, let me go back to the step I have actually completed. Okay. So let me just go back. Okay, 10 yes, please. So now I've gone in the introduction to data analysis, and you can see the modules here. Data analysis responsibility. So, like I said, there is project assigned to each and every courses, every module that you are doing. There is project, so you can see the build project and everything. Although there will be an instruction for everything that you'll be doing, we'll be instructing you guys. Okay, this is the next thing you are supposed to do. This next task you are meant to do. So you don't have a problem about that. You don't have a problem about that. So let's just assume that I've enrolled in this continue course. So how can I know that I've finished a particular task? I've successfully watched the video. So if you click on steps, you can see now that I this very video shows a green icon here. The very video shows that yes, I've successfully completed that step. So I've successfully watched the video. So that's why it's showing this green icon here. So any video that you complete, like you completed, will be showing a green icon. And if you are yet to complete a step, soon show the icon here. You can see that I've not completed all these steps here, and it's showing that yes, it's not showing the green icon. So you are meant to complete all the steps because for the criteria, like one of the criteria for you to be able to submit your project is when you complete all the steps. So for these steps, we have 9 steps. You have to complete all the 9 steps. So for the second one, you have 8 steps. So you have to complete all the 8 steps. So after you completed the 8 steps, you've completed the 8 steps. So you should be able to have an insight or have a deep understanding of how you can do your project. And if you click on the project type, you can see project instruction. So click on the below download to click like to download the worksheet. So it's an instruction that is there. You can see this is this is a project that you're supposed to do for the data analysis. So how you be graded, you can check how you be graded here. So this is how you be graded. So these are the tasks that you are expecting. This is our expectation from you for each and every project. So if you click on submit project, so you can see now that you are yet to complete all the steps in this course. So that shows that I have to complete all the steps before I am eligible to submit um, to submit the project. So another thing that we normally do is we normally keep track of all our students for each week, and then at the end of the week, we normally have the students for the week for each track. So this time around, we are having one student, like we are having 4 students each week, which will be our outstanding student of the week. So we are having one student from data analysis, we have one student from front end beginner, front end intermediate, and then UI UX beginner. So for you to be among them, you have to be active. You need to perform all your projects, and there is quiz for each Saturday check-in that we normally have. There is quiz, so you need to take the assessment. You need to do so many things. You need to do all of these things for you to be among top students. So we normally check the activities of our students. We normally check the activities of our students, and there is attendance also. Attendance also counts as part of the mark. And then in the end, it's not just about being among the top students, but in the end, it's just about being valuable in the industry. It's just about being valuable. So because I've seen when some of our students, one of our students, which was last year, Damilola Abiona, so after she finished with our program, she also enrolled into Cyber Girls. So now she has not even finished the Cyber Girls, and she already got a job from Bristol, England. And that's one of the things that, like the effort that she has put together right from the beginning. That's what has been paying off. That's what has been paying her off now. So you too can be like Daniela, you too can be like Omotola, you can be like Mohammed, you can be like anybody you want to be like. But it depends on how valuable you are. So you need to be more valuable in the end. So if you have any question, I would love to take question because it's already like 2 hours since we start the event. So I don't know if Mr. Noah also has something to say.
Oh yeah, thanks, Toib. Let's well done. Let's just take a question. It's a long journey already. So let's take questions if we have questions, and let's dive into it.
Yeah, if you have any question, because yeah, I think Osman Aliyu has been raising his hand up since. So Osman, I think this silence actually shows that everybody is fine, everybody is cool. So since there is no question, I can just have a closing remark from Mr. Noah, and then we call it a day, and then we see you on the next one.
All right, thank you, everyone. Thank you for your time. Like they always say, nothing good comes easy. This avenue is to open your eyes to the world of possibilities. Um, as much as you would see competitions out there, I would just encourage you, be yourself. Not everybody are fast learner. Not everybody are slow learner. You just need to understand your comfort level and be able to, just ride with it. When it comes to tech, I don't think there's anyone that is not brilliant. Let me put it that way. So don't be shy. In fact, I will say this again: don't be shy. So my philosophy is simple. I won't mind if I have to look as if I am not brilliant in the face of maybe 10 to 15 people. I won't mind, so long that if I find myself in the next few days and I'm talking, maybe having a conversation with another group, I will sound very intelligent. But if you keep to yourself with the mindset that, oh, I don't want people to perceive me that I don't know anything, you're shooting yourself on the leg without you knowing. Because guess what? Nobody really cares whether you ask questions or not. They might even laugh, but what should matter most to you is clarity in everywhere you find yourself. So speak up, ask questions, do your research. And I will also say that, the thing about this whole thing we are trying to do, some of us will start, some of us won't finish well. I know that for sure. But one determination I want you to have is be among the people who finished. You might not finish exceedingly, like you might not finish with exceptions, but what really matter is reaching the finish line when it comes to tech. So I want you to be in that category of people that no matter how tough it is, you push it to the end. We have compiled lots of curriculum for you, and we want you to start from the beginning and see it through. If you don't see it through, then you leave us no choice than to discontinue you from the program, which of course is not what we want to do at any point. So please put in your work, put in your best. Like we've said, so many things have been said here. I had my note here, and is filled right from when Omotola was giving a review, and also Mohammed. They've said so many things, and I just want you to put it. Don't put it where you use it to eat or clean something. Just make sure that you always remember that you need to stay updated. You need to keep learning. You need to declare your objectives. You need to have an idea of how to collaborate with others. So many things are things you need to just make sure you have in your mind. And when you feel confused at any point, just look for somebody who had done what you've done before and beg the person for a 30 minutes. Just a 30-minute chat will change your life. Take for instance, I want to learn UI UX, and at some point everything just looks as if it's not working. Look for somebody who is already achieving where you want to become, like who is already there, Just beg the person. You can DM the person on Twitter, on Facebook, anywhere, any platform. Ask them for 30 minutes. You just need clarification and just have your list of questions. Just make sure it's not more than five because they are not coming to write exam. Once they give you that 30 minutes, ask them these questions and you get to realize some tips that will help you for life. Okay, so keep open minds, and I believe that we'll all be all right. Thank you so much, Toib, and I look forward to seeing everyone on this call at the top. Over to you, Toib.
All right, thank you very much, sir. Another thing I would like to add is one thing is you should always share your progress. Like one thing is, I think we can have this subsequent session on how to just clean up your social media account and everything. So because believe me, like my social media is where I do a lot of things because I do share my progress. If I'm making a progress, or basically if I'm learning in this bootcamp or something like this, or something like that, I do share my progress. And one benefit of sharing your progress is it actually helps you in your technical writing. Yes, because for you to share your progress, you need to write. It actually helps you in your technical writing, and it gives you more visibility in the sense that okay, many people will actually see what you post online that okay, you are learning this. Whenever they have an opportunity, that's when they will now remember that okay, I think I saw this girl or a guy that he or she is learning something like this for the past week. So let me just try to give her this opportunity. And believe me, that is, I made mention of Daniela as well. Was one of our students, one of our past students for the Tech Diversity program. So that is how she also got um, the gigs, the work she's currently working on, and the work is a remote work. She's working for a company in England while she's in Nigeria because of she do share her progress. Check out on LinkedIn, check out on Twitter. She do share her progress that okay, this is what I'm doing. This is so this program also you can share. If you finish a particular task, share. If you do something, share. Just make sure you share your progress. And
Hello, sir. Please,
yes,
I can't hear your voice.
is it everybody that can hear my voice or although the call is
We can hear your
just
voice.
okay. Although the call is also
I can hear
recorded,
you clearly.
can
Like you are thinking, and I guess hear what you're saying. Like the speaker is mute. Understand?
probably maybe it's your network because everybody can hear me on the call. So don't forget to share your progress and if you are stuck at any point, always reach out to people. Yes, reach out. Don't be shy to reach out. Just reach out, reach out, reach out. So thank you guys for joining us and we can't wait to see what you guys will be building in the next few weeks. So guys, just let's just turn off our camera for a a selfie. Everybody should turn their camera on for selfie. Let's just have a selfie. Okay, I can see so I can see you guys. Yeah. Hello guys, thank you for joining. See you on the next one. Right. So see you guys on the next